Steps to planning a great next quarter. Hi, I'm Lucy Griffiths, and I'm going to show you how I plan out and map my quarter. So a quarter is basically 90 days, so you can break it the whole year down into 4 quarters. Quarter 1, 2, 3 and 4. And essentially, when you plan a quarter, that's the most effective use of your time, because planning and chunking your days, planning and chunking into 3-month stints where you can have where you work on a big project and then you have a bit of downtime, means that you're most effective. And that's what it's all about, so that you can really plan and map out something and achieve it, and then move on to the next thing and achieve that. And the way that I have done this has really helped me to build and grow my online business. And I really say to you, it's a good place to start. People like Todd Herman have really inspired me. And I'm going to show you some techniques that I've used, whether it's some of Todd Herman's and also other techniques that I use to map out my content so that it works for me. And it also enables me to fit my family life in there and, juggle 2 6-figure businesses. So, I do a lot of things in my day, but if you plan it and you're strategic, you can get it done. So let's have a look and dive in. Hello, so we are going to start first of all with just planning out your content and the quarter, because if you're really strategic in what you're doing each and every quarter, you achieve more. And this is the most important thing you can do to really set the goals and know what your vision is, what your target is, both for the year, but also for that upcoming 90 days, what you want to achieve, how you want to achieve it. And then you can break it down from 90 days, so 3 months, into 1 month. Then it can be broken down into 1 week and then 1 day. And so if you know what you want to achieve every single day, it makes you much more effective, because you tick off, have I done that thing? If you haven't, it's not the end of the world. Don't give up. You just say, right, I need to double that tomorrow. And it makes you much more focused and you achieve much more. So let's dive in. One of the most important things in life and also in business is actually really reviewing what's been going on, what's worked and what hasn't done. Because if you don't stop and reassess, you just keep going on kind of the treadmill of life, and you're so focused on just driving to that destination that you don't really assess, have I gone the right way? Have I done the right thing? And very often we can discover that we're making the same mistakes over and over again without really focusing and looking. And, I can be so guilty of this as much as everyone. And so one of the ways that I really get around this is by setting aside time to review the past 90 days and then look forward to the next 90 days, what I want to achieve. I do this at the beginning of each year as well, and I kind of ask similar questions, but I then break it down to every 90 days just to make myself, much more in tune. The ways that I do that, I love at the beginning of the year, I love the book, and I'll put a note to it in the bottom. It's called Your Best Year Yet by Ginny Ditzler. And so Your Best Year Yet by Ginny Ditzler. And that really helped me to kind of ask these similar kinds of questions that I was asking over a year period. And now I sort of break that down into 90 days and what I want to achieve and what I've got out of it. Because if you do that, it makes you much more focused on what your goals are, what you need to deliver in those 90 days. And if you don't do it, then, obviously that can make you go, oh, what else? How can I make this work? How can I make it better? And if you find this, if you're enjoying this video and you like the idea of actually doing this yourself, then I actually have this this workbook just below. So click on the link below and you'll see there's a link where you can also get this workbook. So I really try to look at the last 90 days and see it from a perspective of being really logical and understanding me, where I could be, what I could have done differently. But also if I sort of remove myself from it and my ego and my worries and my emotions about it, and I kind of look down on me and I can see, oh, these are the good things you did and these are the things that I need to work on. So the first question really is, what did you accomplish most in the last 90 days? So look at that and really ask yourself, what could you do differently? What could you do better? And what did you do brilliantly? Then, and lots of people sort of skip over this, but actually, what areas are you most disappointed with your life in the last 3 months? So what didn't go so well? What went really badly wrong? And don't have a pity party over it. Just have it, accept it, say, okay, I screwed up. I didn't do this correctly. And then, if you are talking about it, if you're expressing your emotions on it, maybe you need to journal about it. A couple of pages in your journal, really get it out there. And then you say, okay, this is done. I'm going to forgive myself, and then just let it go. Frozen, we all love it. Let it go. And that's the same thing. And so, but unless if you're kind of pretending it doesn't exist, it's going to still bubble and brew away under the surface and really stress you out. So it's much better to talk about it, deal with it, move on. And then the learnings that you get from the last 3 months. So what did you learn? What went wrong? And what could you learn from that? What went right? What steps did you take to make things absolutely work perfectly? So what were you doing differently in your diet? Like in the last 3 months for me, I've been doing intermittent fasting. So although, I sometimes struggle with my weight and I sometimes don't, I actually find that as a business owner, I don't always have the time to go and do yoga in the way that I'd love to. So I started trying intermittent fasting, and actually it's working. So that's one example where for me, that's really working. So look at those and think, well, I'm going to carry on doing that again. And this other thing that's not working so well, I'm going to change that up. This is a big one, the next question. How did you limit yourself in the last 90 days? And so often we put these, emotional blocks, we have these mental blocks that we can't do something because it might be a script from school that we're rubbish at doing a particular thing, and therefore we tell ourselves we can't do that and that's it. So for me personally, I really don't like selling. I've talked about this before, but I get really nervous around selling because I fear rejection. So what have I done in the last 90 days? I've really worked on it from my mindset perspective. I've been doing things like NLP and RTT to work on this kind of fear of rejection in selling. And so if I can overcome those barriers in my head, those blocks, then actually the next 90 days are going to be much more successful. So work out what your blocks are, what is limiting you, and how you are holding yourself back and where you can push yourself forward. And there's a little more space for you if you need some more space. This is a big one. The roles that you play in your life. So we all have roles, whether it's a parent, a daughter or son, we are a partner to someone, perhaps we're within a social environment or voluntary work. We all have different roles that we play, whether that's the person on the football team or the person who is a parent or, a business owner, or maybe you're a yogi, whatever that may be. And look at those different roles for your life. So I've given you this pie chart here, so you can put down, it could be yogi or business owner or mom or whatever it may be, those different roles, and then rate your particular performance for each of those roles. How did you do well? Where could you put more effort into that role? And so you have a really good understanding of the areas where you want to improve. And then from that, looking at all of those roles, which is the one that is most important to you? So we'll go back up. Which is the one that matters most? And so when you then know, I'm going to focus on this area. So it may be you want to get your health sorted, or you absolutely want to focus on your business. Whatever it may be, focus on that area and absolutely say, this is what I'm going to really do and drill down on. Then also look at the other areas of your life, those other roles that you play. What are the goals within each individual one? So whether that's being healthier, whether that's going to yoga twice a week, whether that is delivering an achievable that's within your business, some kind of goal that you want to do so that actually you are making things happen, whether that is you want to increase your sales or you want to create an online course. If you have a goal and you have a focus, it's so much easier. So the next question is then, how can you achieve these goals? And I've given you lots of space to write down how you can achieve these goals and where you want to go from there. Because actually, when you break this down and you say, how can I achieve this goal, rather than having these big goals, you break it down to, what can I do to make things differently so that I can actually do this? So whether it is, I want to go to yoga twice a week. Well, do I need to hire someone to look after the kids? Or do I need to just go early in the morning? Whatever it may be, to ensure that you get it done. And in the same way in your business, if you can't do that particular thing, who can you hire to help you get it done? Because very often we need other people's support. We need other people to help us to implement and deliver. Thank you so much for watching. This is really one of my things that I'm most passionate about, because when you're a business owner, you're so on the hamster wheel delivering stuff for your clients that you don't always get time to work on your business. And so giving yourself, even if it's just 2 hours and you go and sit in a coffee shop and plan out what you need to achieve in the next quarter, can really make a massive difference to your business and where your business grows to. Because the more you grow, the more you deliver, the better it will be. And so this will make you much happier, less frustrated, and get your life back as a business owner. So if you like this video, I would love you to subscribe. Please click on the link below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, bye, bye.